I'm Petal, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorite comfort foods, and that is chicken and dumplings. And it's a real crowd pleaser. Everybody that I make for really likes it, so I'm going to share it for you. I'm having some special dinner guests over, which you'll see in vlogs later, I'm sure. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this, and it's very tasty. So there's 3 ways you can go about making these chicken and dumplings. There's the 100% from scratch method, which would be roasting your own chicken, making your own broth, and then going from there. You can buy a rotisserie chicken and then still make your, from the store already cooked, still make your own broth from that and then move on from there. Or you can buy a rotisserie chicken and buy broth and go on from there. I've done it every single way. It turns out really good any way you do it. One thing to know that, often those rotisserie chickens you buy from the store are full with sodium nitrates and all that junk. So, but it's a big time saver. So, whatever you prefer to do, it still turns out really well. I'm going to show you the completely from scratch method. So if you're going to roast your chicken and do the entire thing from scratch, what you want to do is get your chicken, you want to rinse it and pat it dry, and you want to salten the inside of the cavity with salt and pepper. Make sure the giblets are removed. I've added a whole lemon that's been cut and some herbs from my deck out there, but you can use kind of what you have on hand, even dried if you need to. Then you coat the entire chicken with butter. You can also use olive oil. And then what you want to do is truss it. So the wings don't totally burn to a crisp. You want to just tuck them under like that. And then I'm going to take some cotton string and press the little birdie up. Alright, so I tuck those little guys' wings in. That's all ready to go. I'm just going to put some cracked pepper on the top. My oven's preheated. I'm putting it under at 400, but anything between 375 and 425 will work. And when it's done, we'll move on from there. Okay, the chicken's done. It's been in the oven for a little over an hour, I think, and the thickest part of the thigh is registering at 165, so it's ready to come out. What you want to do is let it cool, remove the string, remove the skin, and debone the entire chicken. If you're going to make your own broth, save all the bones. And I won't tell anybody if you eat the skin because it's yummy. So I've deboned the chicken. Here's all the meat right here, shredded into, medium size chunks. And that's the carcass. So what I'm going to do now is make the broth. Turn on heat medium high in a large stock pot. Add some olive oil. I'm gonna put one onion halved, some celery, some carrots, and 2 bay leaves. I'm also going to add some garlic in there. Normally I would use a whole head of garlic, but I'm just going to use some minced garlic. about 2 tablespoons probably. And I'm going to saute this for about 3 minutes. It's been about 3 minutes and the vegetables are starting to get some color to it. Also the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to add the chicken carcass, as well as any of the large bones. Okay. So all the bones are in there. I'm going to add some parsley. I'm going to go get some thyme. Okay, I'm just going to toss 2 sprigs of thyme in there. Good. And then I'm going to add 8 cups of water. Let's see close. Okay, you can see it's already getting a nice color to it, and I'm going to let this simmer, covered for about an hour. So while my stock is simmering, I'm just going to prep the carrots for what the recipe calls the supreme sauce. Actually, the carrots and the celery. The recipe calls for about half a cup each, but I always use more, so this is about how much I'm going to use. So I'm just going to dice these, and I'm ready to go. Okay, here's the carrots. It's all diced up, the celery is all diced, and all we're waiting for is for that stock to finish. The broth is simmered for about an hour, so I'm going to strain it and then get on to the supreme sauce. Here's the strained off broth, and here's what's left over, and I'm just going to discard that. Okay, so we're on to the supreme sauce, as it's called, and so what we want to do is melt 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted, and about a tablespoon of olive oil. And we're going to saute our carrots and our celery. Okay, we're going to cook that for about 5 minutes until they are tender. The vegetables have cooked for about 5 minutes. They're getting some color on them, so I'm going to add about 3 cloves of garlic chopped. And cook that for a second. Then I'm going to add about a half to 3/4 cup of flour. Okay, I'm going to add the flour. And we're basically kind of coating the vegetables. It's going to basically make a roux, but with vegetables. So we're going to cook the flour for about 2 minutes just to get the starchy taste out. And we're going to slowly add the chicken broth. Okay, we're going to slowly add the chicken stock, a little at a time. We're going to need about 6 cups. I'm just going to slowly stir and add. Keep it from getting any warm. And I'm going to continue to do this until all 6 cups are added. Okay, so when you add all the stock, all you want to do is to let this simmer, and it's gonna start thickening, and soon it'll be thick enough to coat the back of the spoon. Okay, I forgot to add my bay leaves, so I'm gonna add my bay leaves, and as you can see, the sauce has thickened up. I'm gonna add my chicken here in a second. And there's my chicken. There's all my chicken. I'm gonna add salt and pepper and some thyme. Okay, so there's some thyme. Do some pepper. Sorry for the shadows, and I'm sorry for funny noises in the background. There's a full house right now. Gonna add some salt. Stir this all together. And I'm gonna add about a quarter cup cream. And that is all there is to it for the supreme sauce. All there is left is the dumplings. And I'm actually serving this the next day, so I'm going to do the dumplings right before we eat. So I'm going to turn this off and put it in the fridge and heat it back up in the morning, which in my opinion is even tastier. Okay, as I'm finishing up my dumplings, which I'm doing a vlog for Marie, this is what's happening in my living room. Okay, so when I left off yesterday, I had done everything but the dumplings. So all you have to do is mix up the dumplings, which I'll give you the recipe for, and you drop it in spoonfuls in... Thank you! In the supreme sauce, and let them basically poach, and then you're done.